Okay, here's my comfrey that I've used for the poultice. It's coming up now. The flowers are coming up, and they'll kind of unroll. That's not a very good description. They try to describe how they are. Well, maybe Google comfrey, Symphytum. And then you'll see what the flowers look like. But they come out of here and they sort of unfurl a bit like a shell, like an ammonite or something. They're slightly hairy, and they've got all these. You can really see all the sort of cells on their leaf, and that's interesting because that's kind of how doctrinal signatures, how I think of them as kind of proliferating cells, healing wounds, healing physical breaks, inflammation, bruising, bringing down sprains, knitting skin. And they've got a really hairy stem, which is kind of what the irritation is if you put that straight on your skin. They've got something called pyrrolizidine alkaloids in them, and so they're not generally, it's not taken internally. So I'm just using it topically here because they can be aggravating for the liver. So I'm just using it here for my son's sprain, sports impact injury, which he had iced. Yesterday he was icing it, so today we're going to try with the comfrey. Here we have on the stove comfrey leaves simmering. They're great for sprains, bruising, not to be used when something's broken and it's not been set. But I'm kind of stewing them up a little bit, and then I'm going to make a poultice for my son who's got an injury, sports injury. It's a tried and tested remedy. I've had it done since I was little on things like sprained ankles and stuff. Really good to know, and often comfrey grows in your garden. I've been telling people about this for a long time, and actually I thought, why don't I just do a video because it's easier for you to see how to do it. So I'm going to switch that off. That's probably been on for about 10 minutes. And what we're going to do is use the tea and the leaf. And I'm going to soak the tea towel in the tea, and then I'm going to wrap the leaf inside of the tea towel, which I'll show you in a minute. I might do this video in a few parts. Okay, part one. Okay, so I made an infused oil of dandelion, comfrey and daisy. Daisy being for the bruising because it's our native arnica. Can you see the lovely green? Comfrey for sprains and bruising as well, and dandelion for sprains. So this is primarily because he's injured himself on the inner part of his knee by the tendon, and it's quite inflamed and sore. So this oil will sink into his skin underneath the poultice, because when skin's damp, oil sinks in a lot quicker. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move over to here, and then we've got the cling film laid out. We've got the comfrey here, which we've made a comfrey tea out of because we've been decocting that for about 10 minutes. It's still really hot, so I don't want to burn it and put it on. So what I'm going to do is dip the tea towel in. Yeah, that's really hot. The tea is really green. Comfrey's got these hairs on it which can be really itchy, so nice to wrap it in a tea towel. So that's got the tea on it. Oh, this is quite my mum used to do this. Oh, that's really hot. Ah, I need a fork. Jack, just keep looking at the comfrey, not me. So I wouldn't put this straight on because you'd probably get burnt. So that was about 4 leaves, I think. They're going to get wrapped up. The reason I put the cling film down, the dreaded cling film, is because I don't want the juices leaking out everywhere. Oh no, that feels kind of okay. Just leave that there for a couple of seconds to cool down. What I was thinking was, if you haven't got a bit of cling film, you could use like a bread bag or something like that, which I thought was genius, because not everyone has cling film. Cling film's good for emergencies like this. And you would do this if you, if you twisted your ankle or something like that. Just don't use it. Don't use comfrey when something's broken and it hasn't been reset. So you want it warm. You test it on your wrist, but not too warm. Okay, you ready down here, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
Fine.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's dripping out loads. Too hot? Take it off then. Was that really too hot?
You just squeezing tighter.
Huh? I'm not a queen of cling film, but I am a queen of making comfrey poultices. I have my assistant here and messing up the roll of cling film. I think that's enough cling film on there, to be honest.
Maybe you've also messed this up anyway.
So that was the tea towel that's been dipped in the tea, so it's really damp, wet. Inside is the comfrey leaf, and it was all really warm, as warm as you could take. And then the cling film's on the outside, and I'll probably change it, dip more tea in it, just make sure that cling film's not too tight and cut your circulation off. I'll probably change it, oh, you've done it, in about half an hour or something like that. Oh, well done, we nearly done it. Yeah. So that's for a sprain. So it's some kind of sprain on his tendon here, or yeah, not sprain, but he's had an impact on his tendon. Good to know about sporting injuries.